All right guys, what do you do when you're waiting for parts? Me? I'm gonna turn this piece of 18-inch diameter pipe, half-inch wall, into the ultimate smoker for smoking brisket and ribs and all other good meats. I can't wait. Sponsored in part by Strikeforce67.ca, the official Canadian home of Go Treads, Canada's professional traction tool. Okay, so you ask why such heavy steel? Well, it's because it's scrap. It's what we had at work, and I'm going to try and build this thing almost entirely out of scrap steel that I can find at work. I'll have to buy some expanded mesh for the grill and whatnot inside, but I want to try and make it out of completely scrap metal. So let's start cutting this. I decided to make the burn chamber a little bit longer. I can always cut it shorter if I feel that it's too long, but I'm going to cut it at 17 inches and the main chamber 36. So let's get cutting. Okay, 18-inch diameter times 3.14 is like 56. Divide that by 4. We get 14.13 inches. So we're just going to basically call it 14 inches. Now, I don't got any plans or anything for this. I'm just winging it. But I think it's still going to be awesome. Yeah, so that'll make basically a nice 14-inch door opening. I think it should be lots. Should be good. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to cut the door out now, and because it's a pretty critical cut, you don't want to have a bunch of slag and crooked cuts and whatnot. I put new consumables in the torch here, and we're just going to cut along this guide here. We'll put the guard down here, cut here, and then we'll put some bracing inside so that this doesn't spring when I cut the ends off. And then we'll cut these and we'll be good to go. All right, so what we're doing here is we're just welding in some braces on the back of the main door so that it doesn't spring, and just some half moon pieces put in there. We're gonna weld them in fairly solid, and then we'll finish cutting the door out. And then that will hopefully stop the door from springing. Let's give her a go. All right, let's see how she fits. Beauty. Nice. Now we just have to add in our strips here and here, a handle, maybe a counterweight, hinges, and she's looking good. I think that's probably about enough for tonight. We'll carry on this tomorrow. Starting on a stretch of 6 days off, so I got lots of time to do this, and I'm still waiting for parts for the FJ, so this may become next Friday's video and not the 3-link. So, but let's clean up here a little bit and call her a night. All right, if you guys have been following my channel at all, you'll have seen me use this little exhaust pipe forge before. And all it is, a piece of exhaust pipe, some KO wool in here, and a propane torch. And we'll just ignite her up. And I built a couple of these rods here, 8 inches long, and these are going to be my hinges for the door. All right, so you can see what I've done here. I've got this piece of pipe. I got these 2 hinges that I bent out of this 1/2-inch round stock. Just centering everything like that. We'll get this guy where he's even with this bar here, and then we'll just weld everything on, and then we'll have a hinge door. Here's a little trick I want to show you guys that sometimes works, and it happens to work on this one. This plate here, used plate that I got, had some green paint on it. Just get her kind of warmed up a little bit, not real hot, but a little bit. Sometimes it just comes right off. Alright, we kind of got her where we want it. And we're just going to throw some tacks around it. I got one here just to hold it. Alright, so we're going to build the old burn chamber here now. And I've got this cut, this end plate so that I can weld it onto the burn chamber. And I've got this cut out here, the same as the outside diameter of this. That way when we lift it up to the smoke chamber, it'll be right in here. And so you'll have the fire going in here, and your smoke and heat will come out here into the main chamber up in there. So you'll see in a bit how it's going. Alright, so I went to town and I got me some of these weld-on hinges. I'm going to weld that hinge on where it is, and then I'll make a slider here for the draft, and then we'll be able to weld this bad boy onto the burn chamber. Now I thought about using something like this to hold the door shut. I think what I'll do is I'll just tack it on for now, and then we'll decide if that's what we want to do. Take off now, don't look back, but hey, don't you wanna play? Get this little part made, we'll just put him in there. Hold on, sugar, why you look so sad? Come on now, mama, ain't nothing here so bad. You got fast cars, movie stars, party on down the street. That should work good. Double down, throw some dice, take off now, don't think twice, but hey, don't you want to play? Baby, go on. Baby, I don't work down there. There we go. There's the old barbecue so far. This is day 1 and 2 evenings after work worth of work. And yeah, it's looking pretty cool. I still got to build a grate in here and finish up a little bit of welding, and put a handle on here. Put the smokestack on, we'll finish all that up tomorrow, and then we'll cook some ribs. Grab my hand, well, we land. I got the champagne. We can knock it back, get on track, jump on, ride this thing. Double down, roll the dice, take off now, don't think twice. Hey, don't you want to play? Say hey. All right, we're finally getting closer to getting this thing finished, and it takes way longer than you think. And the wife's giving me a hard time about that. I go in there, man, it's taking way longer than it should take, you know, and she just starts laughing. She says all your projects are like that. So anyhow, let's weld this up, get the stack on, and then we can build the grill, and then we're basically ready to fire it. So let's get this done, fire it up, make some ribs. All right, so it's time to fit the grill. I put a light inside of here, so hopefully you guys can see what's going on. We'll put our grill bar across there. We'll put this guy in here. And now we'll just get it level. All right, let's build a grill. Just got some really light wall square tubing here that actually came in a patio set that the wife bought. And it's perfect stuff. Just check and make sure it's square. Looks good. All right, well, here's the barbecue. I just thought I would kind of show you guys around it a little bit here. I started the fire here about half an hour just to give you an idea of what it's looking like. And then we're gonna cook some ribs and it's gonna be awesome. So come over here and check some of the features out. Okay, so one of the features I built into this is I made a draft here that you can control with your handle right down here. Makes it really easy to control your heat inside of the old cooker here. I'll show you inside the grill here. Got a pretty good roaring fire going in here, and just expanded mesh here for the grill. Fairly simple. Got temperature gauge on the outside and another port here for another different style of temperature gauge. Here you'll notice a real sweet piece of cherry that I've been hoarding for years, and put that in there just so you helps set down some of your meats and whatnot before they go on the grill. Here we go. This here is the burn chamber, obviously, and we built a damper so that you can nicely adjust your fire. And inside is our burn chamber, just to burn along nicely in there. And here you can see I built a little grate below there. You can put wood or charcoal or whatever under there. And right there is a drain to drain off any greases or waters or moisture or whatever that gets into the burn chamber. It's a 1-inch stainless steel valve. So I put it all on this base here, and I actually splayed out the legs so the base is actually wider than the whole barbecue system, and it gives it good stability. It doesn't feel like it's going to tip over on you at any time. Nice and solid, nice heavy duty. You know, the thing probably weighs in excess of 400 pounds. You know, the door itself it's a 2-hand door. It takes 2 hands to lift that sucker up. And I didn't put a counterbalance on it. And maybe I should have. If the wife was to use this more, I would have put a counterweight on here to help open the door a little easier. But she won't be doing none of the smoking, it'll be me. And I like the weight of it, keeps the door down nice and solid, keeps it sealed. And I think it's gonna work great. So if you guys are liking this sort of weird kind of content, the different builds that I'm doing, make sure you subscribe, share, like these videos, hit the bell, give me a thumbs up. We'll catch you guys next Friday.